Well, somebody want to make a motion to approve the agenda?
I can do that.
Second.
Also have the minutes from our last meeting, which was held on December the 6th, 2022 here. Once again, any corrections, deletions, additions? Can I get a motion and a second for the minutes?
I can handle that.
I'll second.
We got any recognitions for? All right. Have the only listed visitor is Rodney Jordan. That's request to waive fees for Steel Creek Lodge on February 23rd. Do we know?
I think he's the baseball coach, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm not sure that he will be here. Trish wasn't sure if he would or would not be, that they're requesting, and it is available that day.
Okay. For time's sake tonight, I'm going to hold off on the mayor's report. I don't think there's anything that we have not discussed before. So there's no really big new projects that are coming. Since we've got some visitors here, first we got Robbie. I wanted to give him some time to talk at pre-council tonight, and also Ms. Fisher. So if that's all right with y'all, can we go ahead and let's get some of those projects. They're kind of bigger projects, and we can get some of the people out of here in pre-council. Robbie, would you like to come on up? And this is Ms. Fisher. I think she's ever been to our city hall, so if y'all don't mind my telling her where we are located.
Council, this is now your yellow tab in your booklet.
Good evening. Good to see y'all again. Last Wednesday, December 14th, we took bids for the Steel Creek project. We had two bidders, and the lowest bidder that we're here to recommend for approval is McElhaney Construction in the amount of $1,147,103.98. I can answer any questions if there are any.
As you and I discussed it before the meeting, these bids are pretty competitive.
Yeah, we were hoping to get another bidder, but since the two were so close, I think it's roughly $3,300 apart. Felt good about the numbers that we got back.
Is that exactly $1 million grant, or is this in the realm of grant money?
Yeah, we're good.
It is.
Yeah, we're well pleased with the bid, if you don't mind my speaking for you there. So and like you said, almost couldn't believe that they come in so close. And I think we did have a couple of other people that looked at the project but wasn't able to get a bid in, and I think one perhaps had not been bonded for the amount of money required for the project. So it was competitive where we did have people from different companies looking, and
Yeah, if you'll remember, we advertised for 3 weeks, and we actually extended the bid for another week in an effort to get some more attention. So I think all in all, we feel good about what we got back.
They can start pretty quick.
I've talked to him a couple times, and yes, he's as far as I know, he's ready to start in January. So it'll take us a few weeks at least, just to circulate contracts, get everything executed. But in the meantime, we can go ahead and start setting everything up shortly after the first of the year.
hard for me to kind of tell. There's so many things on here, what we're gonna do, you know, but it's pretty much all of what we had out on the scope.
Yes, sir.
Pretty much all of that. in
Basically,
there.
replacement of what's there, with addition of the pier on the west side that you guys asked for us to add in, and then the one that kind of goes through the woods, if you'll remember. But yeah,
You're saying with the exception of those.
no, I'm sorry. It's everything that's there with addition to those. So there will be the new pier on the west side of
We are
the
gonna have
basin.
that little place out on the west side.
Mm-hmm.
Over the last few weeks, there was a couple of meetings. I was able to make one or two with them, but I had James, Travis, Tom, or a combination of some of those at everything with Robbie. So the three of them have assured me that we were addressing everything that has started with the project to the best they can. So, you know, there'd still be some more work in the parking lot and all that we don't have here.
Sounds good to me.
But we were trying to do the best we can to get it going, so during the winter months, they could get started. So hopefully by the time the weather's back up and we get back to full speed, at the ramp, we'll have it done.
I guess, I really thought the project was supposed to be more of like for educational purposes, where we were gonna get, schools to come for field trips and whatnot, but it seems that only, Randy, you asked if we had gotten everything that we had asked for, so only $10,000 of all that is gonna be educational based.
That's just for the signage that goes on the boardwalk.
Everything else is just materials. Yeah, so that's, of the whole project, $10,000 for the education part. So no classroom, no playground, none of that is included.
Yeah, parking lot and playground will definitely be something we'll have to do.
Any other questions?
I'm good.
Thank y'all.
Will the boat ramp be accessible during all this?
Not for time. No, we'll have,
Well, I need to know for rescue purposes, so I know whether I have to send my crew to go to Sutherland or go to the launch.
I think that's something, it will have to be down for some period of time. I'm not exactly sure what that duration is until we're able to get with the contractor and figure out what their schedule is. Hopefully that'll be a discussion that we have at the pre-construction meeting, and it may be a good idea for you to be there for that, for us to work through the scheduling of what's gonna happen. But yeah, we can do that.
That's fine. I just
Coordinate.
So I know which direction
Mhm.
crews need to go.
I think your boat could still be launched at, launching Vons. So,
Oh, with the
yes,
kayak launch.
people launch
I
boats.
never launched there, so I didn't know how deep that was, whether we could do that or not.
Go down on the weekend, you'll see there's boats launching there. So,
Well, I'm good with it, we can launch there, I'm good with it.
We'll still try to keep that in mind and coordinate.
if you could just email us a start date, once they get it, I know nothing's gonna happen between now and the first of the year, but so we can just make
Yeah.
sure everybody's aware of when the construction will get started.
Okay, all right.
You're gonna have a pre-con here at your office?
Either one, probably here. Yeah, that would be better for everybody else. And we'll shoot to probably set that up, maybe the second week of January, something like that. So all those issues can be coordinated then. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Rob.
man.
Thanks.
The second person tonight is Ms. Fisher from Driven Engineering. She was referred to us by one of the other engineering firms that we use. And she and Kara have both been working on the grant that we discussed a while back regarding the Pennsylvania crossing, Old 43, and the rail crossing there. Ms. Fisher, would you like to come up and just for a minute and introduce yourself to the council? Because I think this is the first project you've ever done with the city of Satsuma, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is.
Ms. Fisher and Kara have put together a pretty good packet. I just got it here this afternoon. Actually, I just made a copy of it, but
I have just the overview. It's just a concept sketch to submit with the grant request.
they've actually put some work in. Didn't I see the traffic count was about right at 5,700 cars a day that cross those tracks? Is that the way I read it out?
I don't recall what the number was.
I remember it was a pretty high number, and then I think
It is a pretty high number.
that Sergeant Wilcutt got some numbers. And how many accidents did you say we'd had there in about a 4-year period?
In between the node north and the node south in that general area, about 70 traffic accidents.
It was really a lot higher than I realized in the accidents right there in that area.
And we're hoping by adding this additional lane, moving south on Old 43, and getting a full lane, that'll be a right turn only lane going north on 43, that we should be able to move traffic through there when there's no trains blocking the track. So there won't be as much opportunity for accidents. AlDOT seems to think it's a good idea.
But the project is definitely going to be a lot bigger project than what we started out, because it doesn't have to require some moving of some old AT&T lines, you said.
We're not gonna incur any cost for that if that has to happen, and we don't think it will have to happen. We've been, a lot of the time we have spent has been coordinating with the various utilities that have things there. I think Satsuma Water was one of the ones that we were not able to get any response from. But everybody else we have talked to, Power and Phone and Spire. And we have, Sane Associates has given us a really good estimate on what it's going to cost to move that, the pole that supports the traffic signals there and the light that's there on the corner. And they've given us a cost to do the design of that pole relocation. And we have talked to the railroad and gotten pricing from them for upgrading the crossing surface throughout the whole width of the crossing while we're in there doing that, as well as the signals are like 25 years old, so that would explain why they're maybe malfunctioning, coming down on people while they're sitting on the crossing. So those would be upgraded, as well as the one on the north side being relocated to add that additional lane. So the estimate was around $850, I think, all in. That's with some contingencies on the construction cost stuff being placed in there, just in case there's something we just haven't thought of. But Dave Warren, who is 75 years old and been doing this longer than I've been alive, was the one that generated the roadwork stuff, and then we've been coordinating with all of the other, the utilities and the railroad on all the other costs. So we think we have an estimate with plenty of room in it, so it should not go higher
asked her to try to make sure that whatever the bid was, we wasn't coming back.
I don't want to be the low bidder.
Having to come back for more money, so
Right.
she's looking at $850 roughly, and it would be a 10% city match, is that
That's right.
correct? So,
On the, as far as the actual crossing portion of that, will that work be done by Norfolk Southern?
Yes. And those dollars are included in the overall estimate.
And then I guess the site contractor would then just do the turn lane, acceleration lanes?
Yes. Generally, the way that works is that the railroad will go in and they'll do the crossing improvements, and then the contractor comes in and butts the asphalt up against that. We've done a number of these, and we work for the railroads all the time. We're in pretty tight with them.
so we'll have to have a resolution tonight, and that's the reason saying that if we were to get the grant, we would be willing to pay the 10%. So that would be an estimated, to get $850, we'd have to pay $85 roughly, so. And like I said, I knew that that was one of our higher areas, but I had no clue that we had that many accidents to back this up, and I think they all thought we had a pipe dream that was not here until we started seeing the numbers that crossed the tracks and the accidents, and it seemed like Aldott and the railroad both kind of come on board a little bit more. So, still ain't a done deal by no means, but.
I would probably have a support letter from the railroad, except this time of year,
Yeah.
they're slow to respond on anything. Just for reference, I've been waiting on a contract for a huge project from Norfolk Southern for a year. And they told me this week that it's on somebody's desk waiting for them to sign it.
We know the feeling when we did the Bayou crossing up here, it was
Yeah.
it took a while to get that signed.
A lot of them take a lot of time off this time of year.
You said y'all have done a bunch of these projects like that?
We've done a handful of crossings and a lot of projects directly for the railroads.
I was just wondering what we have or what we was thinking about doing there. Is there anything else, or is there any other recommendation, or is that basically a good idea?
Other than closing the crossing, I can't imagine what you could do to improve the safety there. Which that just moves the problem somewhere else.
I guess what I'm saying is the lane, as far as the other side, coming in, or that's basically the most traffic, I guess, going out, getting held up that away?
Yes.
I would imagine that the people that are coming from the south, they're gonna use one of the more southerly crossings anyway.
Yeah.
They're not gonna wanna try to make that left turn up there when they can more easily access the southern crossings. And there's no real opportunity from what I understand, talking to the mayor about getting any of the property to seriously widen Old 43 in that area. And the cost and the trouble to relocate the power pole that's on the west side is kind of prohibitive. So we're beginning our turn lane widening immediately at that power pole. And just, we're pulling it as far north as we can without impacting that power pole.
I guess that's what I was asking, the best scenario there to what, we're looking at doing, so.
Yeah, we're doing as much as we can on the Old 43 side without causing a lot more cost.
And I spoke with Rob Middleton today. They are, weather permitting, they're set to go Monday morning, the 1st of January the 2nd, to start the concrete project on the other side. So hopefully, it'd be really nice if we get that done going into the Chevron and the Pilot and the turn lanes, through there, and then tie this in on the, coming out of the residential side. So it should make significant improvement in that intersection.
We're talking about, what, 80-something thousand dollars?
That would be the city's match, yes.
No problem? We got it. Enforce it, no problem.
We got it, ain't.
All right, Ms. Fisher, if you would, please just keep us advised on what you find, because, we're, kind of anxiously waiting, because I would like to see that project. I wish there was some way to speed it up, to tie it in
Yeah.
where we get this, when the other work starts the first of the year.
We confirmed with AlDOT that Satsuma can apply for the grant as a local road authority. So you will need to sign the 2-page application, and we will need the resolution letter from the city.
Of course,
To
we have to do
attach.
that in our regular meeting,
Right.
so we can do that and get it to you, okay?
Okay.
All right, Ms. Fisher, thank you for the work you've done. If you would, keep us advised on what you may find, so be careful in this weather out there. I'm glad to see you're,
Final version of the application that you'll need to sign.
okay. Glad to see you getting around better.
I think Carol sent all that to me as well, so.
We got it from both of them today. Well, Emmett, we're glad you're here. You got anything? Good. Sir, you got anything you want to come before the council? Okay.
We've been contacted yesterday by Heather regarding cybersecurity. I guess
Okay.
you got a questionnaire that AMEC wanted y'all to fill out, and going through the questionnaire, I think there's some gaps that we can help y'all with. And, we had a meeting yesterday with Jason and Heather and discussed what we've proposed here. There's two sides to it. There's a VCSO side, which is the policies and procedures, going through the vulnerability scans of your network. And then there's a managed services side of us being your IT provider. We did a site survey, and there's definitely gaps that need to be filled. And I know this has been quick. I got the proposals to y'all today. So I don't know if y'all want to go through them or have any questions. There's a lot there.
Yes, it is.
Do you wanna explain or you want me to?
Yeah, so basically where we're at right now is, our AMIC insurance has come up for renewal, and basically they're telling us that for years we had cybersecurity insurance with AMIC, and now they have, said they're not providing cybersecurity insurance anymore. So that's
Not as a law.
not as a one package. So, and that put us to doing some quick research as soon as we found that out. And these guys were recommended by Saraland. So we reached out to them and scheduled a meeting, and here we are today. So I asked them to come and kind of just give you a quick 10,000-foot view of what they do. We kind of told them on the call yesterday that, we'll have to review the information, and, it may take us a couple of weeks to digest everything, but we'll definitely let them know one way or the other. And that's, Heather, you got anything?
We're just in a crunch. The AMIC renewal is due November 21st. That was submitted on time, but they sent back the portion of the cybersecurity saying they no longer lump that into our premium, that is something that we have to fill out this questionnaire for. It's like 256 questions and asked about your policies and procedures for IT, which we don't have. Are you training your employees on cybersecurity? No. All these things. So what I'm understanding from the league too and other municipalities, that most people that are sending it in are not being, written a cybersecurity insurance policy without someone else helping. And these guys would go in and provide those policies for us. Any new employees that would come in, they would train them with it. They'll send out,
Phishing campaigns.
phishing, campaigns. Like you may get an email, an employee, and if it's a fake email and they open it and go through it, it's gonna send us a notice that this person needs remedial training on looking for those types of emails. Because if we were to get hacked and something happened to city funds or employees, AMIC will not cover us anymore without this type of policy. So these guys, that's what they do, and.
The policies and the services on the
Right,
back
and the
end too.
services, yes. And as far as council, she said there's like classes, I think. she
There's
said,
classes, there's semesters
that
broken into.
employees would take, they'll get emails on their emails, and just they have to do it. But council would watch like a video, things like that, so we can tell AMIC, we're training people from, Public Works all the way to our council, and they're more likely to give you a better premium with these type of things. But AMIC just said we need to get it back to them as soon as possible, because it's holding up our other premiums, policies.
Since AMIC is canceling that portion of their coverage, or,
They will still cover you if you don't have policies and procedures, or you don't have cybersecurity at all, then they're not going to, because their insurance, if you were to get hacked,
yeah,
they're not gonna cover anything in the past, and I think the water board a couple years ago,
I understand that. Where I'm coming from is, did our premium go down from AMIC?
we don't have a quote back yet. We have to send this portion in, whether we're gonna do it or not. She's trying to get me a quote to tell us what it would be without it. She's not been able to get that yet. But you're gonna eventually see that without any type of cybersecurity policy, you're not gonna be covered anywhere. And they even did the third parties, like Harris Computers. In the questionnaire, it says, are you, I forget how it's worded, are these people covered under cybersecurity? How do you know that your vendors that you are using and sending social security numbers and payroll information are covered as well? So if something were to happen to their computer, our employees could be at risk as well. So this puts them in compliance, with what we have to provide.
I was just wondering, I mean, we're talking
It's way
about,
out of my league.
we're talking about, roughly $18,000, that we're about to have to spend over and above what AMIC's charging us, that we haven't had to spend, but I was just wondering that, about
Sure.
that side of it,
5-year contract seems like a long time.
We can modify that, it's just our standard.
Yeah.
With these, on the managed services portion, is that yearly or monthly?
That's monthly. And that's, that's per user, per location, we need to put a firewall at each location. Our SIEM device is what monitors traffic, east, west, north, and south. We'll put that up, we need to put that at each location. The only thing that's not on this proposal is the email, which Star reached out to you about, so that's gonna be, y'all are currently now with 365, so there will be a migration of the email from, the late Jackie, Benson that's doing it now. I just didn't have all the details on that today, there's still some unknowns for that.
Ms. Benson no longer wants to do emails, so we started working on that .gov, and they're willing to help us finish that.
Doesn't sound like we don't have much of a
Evil
choice to do.
necessity, so.
Guess my question would be, since we're close on we're not even halfway in our budget year yet. And I noticed on the cybersecurity, proposal, it said full payment was due, you know, a month or so after signing the contract.
We can work that out.
Okay.
Yeah, if we need to break it into monthly payments, we can do that.
Okay. This is definitely something we did not budget for.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, it's here to stay.
And just so, also on the IT side, they do that, so any person, there'll be an app on a computer. So if Public Works or Sandra has a problem with her computer, we don't have to wait on somebody to come fix it. She can dial in to them or send a message and they can remote in and fix whatever's going on then. There's a local office, maybe.
Yeah, we're on government.
They're local, so they're able to, if they had to come on site, they could. But we don't have anybody currently, except for the one person we have, and you have to schedule appointments. And, we don't have an IT department anymore, so it's just whoever knows a little bit about it.
How does this compare to IT in the box that the league supports?
Haven't looked into that yet.
Okay, because the guy, he always is asking if he can come down. And I don't know what services he provides, but I thought it was like all in one. So I don't know what kind of rate they could provide if we needed to get like a comparable quote. Since it's through the league. I mean, I know you guys said they came, recommended from Saraland. Just a thought, if we wanted to kind of get something to compare it to.
Do you know what they provide for all that?
I didn't bring my briefcase because I came straight from work, but I do have some of that information. I'm sure it's on the website.
Well, since you and Jason both have asked the questions, would y'all like to look into it and make a recommendation to us so we can?
Yeah, we'll digest this one and then see what we can come up with for the next month, next meeting. Something we need to move pretty quick.
My contacts and information's on those packages, so reach out if you have any questions anytime.
Okay. Well, we appreciate y'all coming on short
Thank you.
notice.
Thank y'all for giving us
Thank
the
you.
opportunity.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
I could add, any company build this, and if they come in the building and access any of the police department computers, it's gonna be somebody that, we're gonna have to do background checks on each individual employee that has access to it. So if it's like some internet-based thing where it's subbed out, I don't think that would be feasible, because we will have to do.
I'd already thought about that, but I figured if Saraland was done it,
Yeah.
they had already checked into it.
They did, I spoke with Judy, and they all have, they
I
had
just
to
wanted
do
to add
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of talked about, these guys have got an idea, but I wasn't sure about the IT in the box, if it's like a kind of online based thing.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Yeah, they said they had to with Saraland, so,
Right.
yeah. And I think they're also out of Birmingham, so they're doing Birmingham and a couple other cities.
they also do it for the state of Alabama as well.
Yes.
Right, I just wanted to add that in case you look at alternates, just something.
Gotcha.
Yeah, when she said it for the leagues, they probably do. It was just a shock when we got the email back. That was part of it.
They do cybersecurity and computer maintenance, 24/7 help desk, data backup and disaster recovery, records and document management and email, video archiving, policy and compliance, website, vendor management and procurement. And it has the league contacts down here. Request a quote. But that, I just went to the League of Municipalities and typed in the search IT in a box.
I'll look at it, so we can, it won't hurt to get a comparison.
May I also offer that you guys have a resident in Satsuma that owns Advantage IT Management. They do our company's IT, and they do all of that stuff too.
Yo,
Matt Wilson.
Matt Wilson.
He would be very interested in talking to y'all too. I've been texting him.
I got Matt's number too. Thank you for, I forgot about him. Yep. I about Matt.
They do cybersecurity training on all of our people too. Okay. It's very effective at stopping phishing. And in case y'all don't know, about 2 years ago, Mobile County got hacked. And they got ransomed. They lost everything.
They had to pay them, I think.
No, they didn't.
They didn't.
They opted not to, so they lost all their data. All their standard contracts, everything they use every day, all the drawings they scan, everything.
Somebody paid. Who paid? They paid
There's been several, and utility boards also. Okay.
I have enough Bitcoin.
right now.
Trying to make sure we're going.
Like, yeah, our new girl in the office, that's her degree is IT, so she sat in the meeting with us.
Okay, we got anything from any of the rest of you that is going to take a few minutes that we can take care of in pre-council so we can move on with our council meeting tonight?
Mayor, I was handed a couple of bids for that work down at the, trash ramp. I don't know if you want to try to handle that tonight, or
That's fine if you want to.
we can open them if y'all,
We're going to do that, just open them in the council meeting?
we can do that, yeah, and just wait till then.
That's going to be bids on the repair at the,
We could, I guess.
we've discussed it. It's been a pre-discussed on, so we've discussed it in the past. I don't,
You just wanna do it during your time?
ain't nobody get
That'd be
object, do
easier,
they,
probably.
to looking at it?
That'll work. I can just do it my
You know,
time.
do that, and then maybe we can get that started first of the year without having to bring it back up. I'm telling you, it looks like January and February is gonna be busy already. So,
I'll do that my time, and
okay,
then we can try to get going with it.
okay. You got anything else tonight you want to bring up? Big, Mr. Butler? Mr. Skelton, you got?
No,
addition?
just looking at the bills, so when I call this number out later, just know that, this includes pay estimate number one of a paving contract. So when you hear it, you'll know why.
Yeah. Oh, on what now?
The Pine City contract for pay estimate one, 226.
Okay, that's. Good, good,
Yeah,
okay, that's, yeah, that would cause a heart attack if not, but thank you. Ms. Reese?
I can just mention the things here at the pre-council and then don't have to do it later. I just had a few questions. One, the nets that were gonna be at Lions Park, did those get hung up? The nets that were gonna protect the ball from going over the
Let Travis
fence?
answer that for you here.
No, actually, we haven't had the chance. We do have the nets,
Okay,
but we have the Christmas,
okay,
all kinds of stuff, the weather.
okay. I was just wanting to get an update. Thank you. And then, I spoke to the gentleman that's gonna be taking over football for next year, and he did ask about, getting some new equipment. So I asked him to get a quote, and, he could present that before the council. But, that will probably be later on in upcoming months. Also, the light is still out at the south end of the city that shines on the flags. And I think Travis had mentioned that it was an electrical problem. So I was wondering if we could get that addressed. Maybe get an electrician out there and get it fixed, because it's pretty dark on that end. And I know that the American flag's supposed to have light shining on it in the dark, I think. Is that the rule? And then also, I know we have another city flag, if we could get that replaced. The one that we have up there is looking a little ratty. And then, Mayor, did you get the dog park, contract for the grant? Heather, did that get forwarded? No.
I hadn't seen
Okay.
anything.
Did you get it? You didn't get it. My email is not working. So Adam sent us, and I copied you on it and Kara. So there's a contract that's ready for you to sign, and then they'll move forward with awarding us for the poured in place surfacing for the dog park. So, yeah. Okay. And that's all I had.
Sergeant Wilcutt had requested that he had 2 employees he was recommended for a merit raise. If y'all don't have any problem, if you'd like to tell the council who it is you've recommended. And I guess it's a 5% raise. He said, which he brought up a good point. The city's basically had operator positions at the police department, operator, jail, or dispatcher, whatever. Slash has kind of changed over the years, but there's never been a place for any of them to move, and some of them are our senior employees now. He thought it would be good if there was some avenue for progression. And
Amy Grimes or Crystal Grimes and Jackie Kaufman. Jackie's been with us for 18 years. Been an excellent employee. Both of them are 2 that we can count on anytime we call them. Also, recently, Ms. Grimes has accepted the position of being our TAC, which is a very important position with us, comes with a lot of responsibility, keeps us in compliance with NCIC regulations on several fronts. They keep up with warrants, all the items entered in the NCIC stolen. And also Jackie has been our assistant TAC for quite some time without compensation. And also want to look at creating a dispatcher 2 position, which would have to be adopted and open. Doesn't have to be filled right now, but it's never existed, so they've never had an opportunity to advance like this department with corporate authority and everything else. For advancement for those that have been dedicated, served all these years with us.
he put in writing his reason for making the recommendation. I told him I didn't think there'd be any problem with that. So if y'all don't have any problem with it tonight, we'll do that. The 2 people was listed on the board a couple months ago. I did speak. They're both still wanting to be on the board. Don't forget, we're going to have to have that audit meeting in January. I need to know if y'all want to do that on a special night or do a pre-council and just come in early. Y'all need to be thinking about that.
I've still got quite a bit to send to the auditor too, so I'm working on that.
Okay.
I'll say if we can get it, or if it's not in January, if it's, another February, whatever, let's try to do it on the second meeting and do it early. Just do early pre-council that day.
That sounds good.
That way we don't have to worry about the school and everything else.
Well, I thought since this Key Kids have been so popular recently, that if we can knock out some of these dealing with the engineers or counting or anybody else in pre-council, it can help us prevent being so late. And also, Alan is supposed to come back next. He wants to be on the agenda for the following, our first meeting in January, kind of making sure that the sidewalk project that started at that time, which is scheduled to start on the 2nd or 3rd, weather permitting. Let us know about that, but also South Alabama Regional Planning Sidewalk Application Grant opened the last week, and I'm hoping that we can pursue an application with them because we did not get funded for ALDOT this next year on that project. And, you know, and it's taken 2 full years getting this project here started. I mean, we started on it 2 years ago, and we're hoping to break ground. So if we start now, maybe we can get it a year and a half or so from now, get going on the 2nd phase. So he's going to be here to answer any questions or any of that. I think all the details were worked out between the personnel board and the city and our insurance regarding the building inspector who is supposed to start on the first working day of the new year. So I think he'll go on. Didn't we accept him on one day next week due to his insurance? So he'll, due to the fact that there won't be a break in his insurance. And that was one of the things we had to work through. So looking forward to that. Hopefully at the next council meeting, we'll have him in here, pre-council, let all of you meet him. A couple of council members already have. So got that. Travis, wasn't we planning on putting down some more posts for those nets over around the park also? And we got that, and also Paul Henderson called, and they shut down for the week of Christmas, and he said the signs were about ready to go, but they had not been able to get the line locates done. They would not have them done before Christmas, so it would be first of the year before they're able to put the signs down to get the, location from any lines. So, but he said they will be finished by the first of the year. And we got on the meeting tonight, the league conference that's in Washington this year, and also the league conference is coming up, I think was it April in Birmingham this year is where it's at? May. And so.
This one put on by the National League of Cities.
Yeah. So I was hoping to go, and I was going to see if anybody else would be willing to go to Washington in March of this year to see with us. We got our new senator, actually, we got 2 relatively new senators there, and attend that. So some of the other cities here, Mobile and Baldwin County, several of them are attending or sending
Yeah, I think
a
Judy
couple.
said she and Mayor Rubenstein are going, and several council members.
I think all of them went last year, didn't they?
They
Every
all
one of
did,
them.
and their junior council.
So,
But we get a rate if we book all at one time, like a cheaper rate, so that's why it'd be good to know if anybody can go. I think, put it all in your packet, there's
About
one,
how quick we need to know.
let's see.
they still had vacancies when I talked with Sarah Lynn, but they said they were filling up
They're
fast, so
filling up
that's the
very
reason.
fast.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So,
Let's see. And the junior council, it would only be $185 for them to go, under the special rates, if they could go to school with, Chrysler. We were gonna get with her and see if they could, like the other students do for those schools.
What's the airfare look like?
I think there was a date on here that said. Of course, it gets more expensive the longer you wait.
and also, I think there's the league's got a course over in Spanish Fort next month, if anybody would want to attend that.
5 or more receive a complimentary 6th registration. You must all register at one time. Sooner the better.
Do we have this budgeted?
We don't have it in y'all's, training and dues budget line item.
To include airfare and all that?
should only be one, and like I said, we discussed it at the budget that night, that we passed it, and I said that if we do go over, we can move it from somewhere else.
You said it should be one?
I would say two. I'd like to see a couple people go. I've
Oh,
encouraged.
I thought you just said it should be one. I wasn't sure what the one you were talking about. I must have misheard you.
I was saying, you know, if anybody wants to go, I don't think all of us need to go probably, but a couple want to go this year and a couple next year. I've been saying it all along, so,
I'll check my schedule.
okay.
Is this, just for the registration? This is not lodging?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's my assumption, yes. I think this is just the registration. I don't think I'll look on their site to see, I don't think they have anything posted yet as of, blocked rates for the place to stay yet, because you'll get a cheaper rate if you go through them. I don't think we have that yet. I'll look tomorrow and make sure.
Doc and Adam are on the league board, and that's two of the ones wanting everybody to go. So, I mean, either one of them should be able to answer any questions. Just a couple little things, but they've all been discussed before. I don't have anything else. If y'all don't have anything, we got about 10 minutes before the council meeting starts, so we can finish up our pre-council here and come back and see y'all in about 10 minutes, if that's okay. Works for me. All right. We'll let them go. Regular meeting of the Satsuma City Council to order on Tuesday night, December 20th, 2022. Most of you are regulars here tonight, so you all know that we start our meetings with the invocation, followed by the pledge. If you do have a cell phone, please either turn it to silent or turn it off. So we're going to ask Councilman Jason Skelton to lead us in a word of prayer. So if you have a hat on, take it off, and we will stand for the invocation, and please remain standing for the pledge to follow.
Let us pray. Dear God, we thank you for today, Lord. We just ask that you watch over us and guide us as we handle business of the city. Lord, we just ask that you be with those who have lost loved ones in the last couple of weeks, God. Just give them peace and comfort and let them know that you will never leave them nor forsake them. God, we just ask that you watch over and guide our first responders and keep them safe, Lord, and we just give you all the glory and praise for everything. In Jesus' name, amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Skelton. Can we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Little?
Present.
Councilmember Butler? Councilmember Skelton?
Present.
Councilmember Reese? Here. Councilmember Phillips? Mayor Barlow?
Here. Please let the record reflect that all are here, with the exception of Councilman Phillips. We have the city attorney, city clerk, the police and fire representatives here. Next thing is approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as distributed.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Mr. Little, to approve the agenda as distributed. Any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Moving on to the next packet, next thing on the list, be the approval of the minutes from our past meeting on December the 6th, 2022. Y'all had a chance to look over the minutes. Any corrections, additions, deletions? I'll entertain a motion to
So moved.
approve the minutes as distributed.
Second.
Once again, motion made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Mr. Little. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next, we have recognitions. There's nothing on our agenda tonight, so we'll move on to visitors. Mr. Jordan, will you come up? Just for the record, we ask that when you come before, you just identify yourself, give your name and address, and what your purpose is here.
Hi, I'm Rodney Jordan. I'm a head football coach here at Satsuma High School. Address P.O. Box 112 here in Satsuma. And I'm coming, I plan to have our football and cheerleader banquet on the night of Thursday, February 23rd. And with the numbers of students that we have involved, I'd like to ask to be able to use the Steel Creek Lodge with the fees waived. And that's really what I come to ask, so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Normally, we have is it the 250 setup and cleanup? Is that what it is now? Or did it go up?
I think it's 275.
275? Yeah. Are you asking for the cleanup fee to be waived? Because just the rental? Okay. Yeah, because it's standard that we ask, okay, perfect.
Just not rented on that night. I don't have a problem with it.
I don't either. You
I put that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Reese, seconded by Mr. Little, to waive any fees with the exception of the cleanup fee for Coach Jordan for the football. What are we calling it? Football banquet or?
Football banquet and cheerleaders.
Football cheerleader banquet. So just need to know how to put it in the minutes. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. All right, sir. Good luck with it. Hopefully you do a good job with the program, and we'd like to see some W's out there next year. So, but whatever we can do to help you, please. Is there anyone else to come before the council tonight Sir, I know y'all came in. Did y'all want to approach tonight? Yes, sir.
Chris Johnson, my wife, Christy Johnson.
Please come up if you would, sir.
My name's Chris Johnson.
Yes,
This is
sir.
my wife, Christy Johnson. We reside currently in Loxley, and we're here to observe.
Welcome.
I also currently threw my name in the hat for the chief police position.
Okay. All right, well, we appreciate you coming.
Sir.
Okay. All right, is there anyone else or any other business we need to come from the floor? If not, maybe we can run through our agenda tonight and get out of here early and let everybody get started. I think some people are already off for the holidays. The mayor's report, moving on, like I said, I think we've covered most of this stuff in the pre-council tonight. As was already mentioned, we've certainly seen some deaths in our area, and we'd like to give condolences to all those families. We've also had some sickness, so try to keep those families in mind, too. We've got several people here. I think one of our regulars at the council meeting's laid up, Ms. Palmer, so we'd like to wish her a speedy recovery. Maybe, has she gotten out of the hospital now?
She was moved to Crown today,
Okay.
across from Spring Hill Memorial, so she's been up walking, and she'll be her feisty self, hopefully, before too long.
Thank you for that update.
That'd even be worse.
I ain't gonna tell her you said that. These things, just a reminder, the chapel's still moving. It hadn't gone as fast in the last couple of weeks, but I don't think anything with this weather has. The sidewalk project, as mentioned earlier, the one that we bid out is scheduled to start right after the first of the year, weather providing. I talked with Middleton Construction today. They are looking forward to getting the Pennsylvania crossing going into the pilot and the Chevron started after the first of the year. Mentioned that our building inspector is set to start on the 3rd when the city employees return to work, so hopefully we'll have that position filled. Robbie, I think, done everything we needed to answered what questions we could for Go Mesa reference Steel Creek project. We'll let you know when the pre-construction bid meeting starts, once he notifies us. I did mention to you that Alan from Civil Southeast will return to the next meeting regarding our application for a Sharpsy sidewalk bid that's going to be due, I think, was it March the 1st? So we'll have to, get that taken care of January, so he can have a little time to work on it and get it in. Told you Mr. Henderson with Explosive Signs says he hopes to have those city signs that we've worked on for quite a while, start putting them up right after the first of the year. The audit is still moving ahead. Okay, we got those on later. We did not have a couple of things that's on the agenda tonight, but the council did agree to hear those and reference. Do you want to discuss this with public safety regarding the 2 employees he asked to give a raise, or would you like to go ahead and take care of it now? Okay. Chief, for the record, would you give us the name of the 2 people you've recommended for the 5% merit raise? He explained this in pre-council.
Operator Chris Grimes and Jack Coffin.
I'd like to make a motion to agree.
Mr. Butler's made a motion to grant the two employees, police dispatcher, jailers, 5% merit raise. It was seconded by Mr. Skelton. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
And that'll go in effect in the next pay period. Okay? Along those same lines, I think Mr. Little has one that we had discussed a while back, that we got the certification list in from the Personnel Board today. Is that correct, Heather?
Yes, sir.
And it's the person who's actually doing the job. Cedric, would you like
Cedric
to- Yes, sir.
Dennis, yes. I'd like to make a motion to go ahead and approve that.
Filling into the position he will be moving to will be a supervisor, is it
Public Service Supervisor 1.
Public Service Supervisor 1.
Correct.
Motion made by Mr. Little, seconded by Mr. Butler to approve the promotion of Mr. Cedric Dennis to Public Works Supervisor 1. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Chapel, sidewalks, go Mesa. We're gonna do the bid, it's gonna be done in regular order. Just in case anybody saw last week, we had a really bad weather day, and we let the ladies leave just a little early in the office that day, so I didn't think there would be any problems with it, but I think the library also closed a little early, and there was certainly no business going on with the weather forecast going on. Wanted to make sure y'all were all up on that. Other than that, I think the city is looking very good, so thanks to all of them who have taken part in helping us keep it clean, and the lights and Christmas trees and everything at all the buildings. So for all the city employees and volunteers that have worked, I'd like to say thank you from all of us up here. We certainly wish all of you a good, safe, happy Christmas and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And please be safe with these roads and all. Lord of mercy, it's been a lot of accidents and all, so. But with that being said, that's really all I have, and we'll move on to public services. Mr. Little.
Mayor, we handled that with Cedric. Along those lines, I want to mention again, we will be running garbage Friday, the 23rd, and Monday after Christmas, the 26th. Also Friday, December the 30th, and January the 2nd, which is the following Monday. So I want to tell them guys, and Cedric and the Public Works, really appreciate that. I know it helps on the city side, but citizens really appreciate that also. That don't have to be done, but really appreciated. Also, I have 2 bids that we can open for the work to be done down at the trash ramp. This is from Tyndall Construction. Tyndall Construction is pleased to submit a lump sum price of $19,500 to furnish the necessary labor, materials, tools, equipment, and supervision to. And then it's a pretty good list here, but we can read over them. Let me look at the other one. And we have one more. This is from Joe Tarver Construction. The covered parking shed and office at Trash Ramp. And there's a pretty good list of items here. The bid on it is $15,680. Those were the two bids that we got. I'd like to make a motion that we go with Joe Tarver Construction, presuming that everything that we ask for is on this list here. I guess we can look over that.
I was going to say, did you want to make a motion to accept the bids and then study for tabulation and awarding later?
Yes.
That way we can make sure that.
That's what I was
Comparing apples to
getting to,
apples.
and make sure it's the same as, what we asked for in the other bid also,
Okay.
for $15,680.
So Mr. Little's making a motion to accept the bids, and we will study and tabulate the awarding of the bid once we have time to review the bids. Is that the way I understand it?
Correct.
Can I get a second to Mr.?
Second.
Mr. Little's motion was seconded by Mr. Skelton. So is there any discussion from the others? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay.
And I think that's all, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Little. Moving on, Public Safety, Mr. Butler.
I don't have anything tonight.
Anything other than your promotions we've made? So you have got something. Moving on now to administration with Mr. Skelton.
I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. That's all I have.
Okay? Ms. Reese?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to give an update that we did receive the invitation for the grant that you'll need to sign, and I'll make sure Heather gets that. Something's going on with the email. Make sure she has that so you can sign it, and then they will put us on this round of, grant payouts or approvals or whatever, however it works out. The details are in the email from Adam. So that's good. And Merry Christmas to everybody. I know we won't see y'all see you next year, right? Is that what people say? So y'all be careful if y'all are traveling. Make sure you hug your loved ones really tight and tell them you love them. So that's all.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Reese. Mr. Phillips, as I said earlier in pre-council, is a little under the weather tonight. He was not able to attend. Mr. Jones, who's been actually working a lot with sanitation here recently. Y'all know that we've been using James Elmore. James still comes around and contributes to the city, but here's a list here of the projects they've worked on the last couple of weeks, but as you can see, it's a lot of the project, if y'all want to just glance over that. But looks like they've been very busy and will continue to be busy. Mr. Little pointed out they're going to try to run as much as we can through the holidays, so hopefully the city will stay looking good, and we will be back here hopefully on the first Tuesday in January, which is, what is that date, the 3rd? For our regular meeting. Yes. So on January 3rd, and it looks like we're going to hit the ground running because there's several projects that we hope to be started that week if the weather's permitting. Also some new employees, hopefully, getting started. And just once again, on behalf of all the city, we'd like to wish all of our people, our employees and citizens a Merry Christmas and stay safe. And if y'all need anything, please let us know. But thank y'all, and we appreciate it. A motion to adjourn?
We got to.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Lord, yeah, I am.
I mean, I'm hungry
been a
too,
long
but
day.
come on.
I'm sorry, I was ready to get out of here tonight. Payment of the
What you was
bills,
getting to.
Mr. Skelton.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $292,120.75.
Maybe that's what got me.
Yeah.
He's ready to get out.
$300,000 almost, but you, as you pointed out, just for the people that's here, that's That
Yeah.
includes the road paving project.
226,000 of that is a road paving project.
Yeah, you had pointed that out in pre-council. Any? Motion made by Jason, seconded by Mr. Butler. Pay the bills in the set amount. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
opposed. We discussed the consideration of attending NLC conference, which is going to be March 26th through the 28th in Washington. I've asked the council if anybody would like to go, so please let us know so we can make reservations and do it all at once. I do think it's a good idea if we can send 1 or 2 people a year to that. So y'all please let Heather know if your schedule will allow you to attend. C, discussion.
It's not during a council meeting either, so.
Right, C, discussion and consideration accepting resignation of William Brandon as a police officer effective December 31st.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Butler, seconded by Mr. Skelton. Accept resignation of Mr. Brandon. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Discussion and consideration of sponsorship for Satsuma High School tennis team in the amount of $200.
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Mr. Butler, to purchase ad for approximately for $200 for the tennis team. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Show the motion passed. E, discussion and consideration of awarding McElhaney Construction Company LLC as the lowest responsive bidder for the Go Mesa project in the amount of $1,147,103.98.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Mr. Little, to award the bid to McElhaney for the Steel Creek project. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. This has been brought up before. Both of these gentlemen we checked with to make sure the work schedules would still allow them to be put on the Board of Adjustments. So the two are Lee Crawford and Rodney Waltman for another 3-year term. Motion made by Mr. Butler, second
Second.
by Mr. Little. All those in favor signify by aye.
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 Those opposed. Discussion and consideration of hiring Mr. George Freilich as the building inspector to be effective on December the 31st, 2022. Is there any discussion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Little, seconded by Mr. Skelton. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Do we have a resolution tonight we got to read? Or it's in your book, Clint. Only.
Just go with-
Resolution allowing, the city to submit grant to the railroad program.
Okay.
For AlDOT to submit in the city. The real highway grade crossing hazard elimination program, right there at 43.
This is what Ms. Fisher discussed with us on the resolution is 2022-12-02, authorizing the submission of the AlDOT Railroad Highway Grade Crossing Hazard Elimination Program that we discussed. I get a motion to, I guess, suspend the rules and then put this up for immediate adoption.
Yes.
I'll make the motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Mr. Skelton made a motion to suspend the rules and put the resolution up for immediate adoption. It was seconded by Ms. Reese. All those in favor signify by aye, and I think we have to have a roll call, don't we? Yep, roll call vote.
Councilmember Little?
Yes.
Councilmember Butler?
Yes.
Councilmember Skelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Reese?
Yes.
Mayor Barnes?
Yes. Now I'd like, with the same two, make the motion second to put the resolution up for immediate adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Once again, motion made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Ms. Reese to put the resolution up for immediate adoption. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Now, maybe this time we've got everything taken care of.
We'll just bump G to next meeting.
I move we adjourn.
It's like,
I thought we
no, we
did,
just,
George. G.
no, I'm sorry. She got a different
G
one.
is cybersecurity.
Oh, the cybersecurity?
Yeah.
That's the one she gave me, so.
I just didn't want him to feel so bad.
The cybersecurity, which is probably way overdue for a city our size. We should have done this at some point in the past, but now it's here. So the city clerk is going to work with Mr. Skelton and Ms. Reese, I think, for them to provide us with a recommendation on what they think would be the best avenue. And I think there are a couple other companies they wanted to explore
Yeah.
what they would do and what type price, which I think is a good idea. And then we will hopefully have you all an answer at the next meeting.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the plan.
All righty. Well, thank you all again for everything tonight. So it looks like a pretty good meeting. Certainly a good time. We've moved fast in our pre-meeting and the meeting. Anything else? Now,
Now your motion.
Oh, is it still on the table? Somebody second it.
I'll second it.
motion made by Ms. Reese, seconded by Mr. Skelton. We adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Y'all have a good Christmas. Thank y'all.
How dare you not take your calendar?
It's like she's ungrateful or something.
I mean, you will never have another
I tried to give her a peanut.
insurance
Thank you.
calendar. You too.
You could do it for your dirty Santa gift.
Oh, Lord. We just had our Dirty Santa. They got one present, and it was like a car buddy, and it's like a snowman, and it like, it's
They blow up and you put,
Yeah. Really? I thought that was hilarious. Okay, oh my gosh.
that is so much fun.
Bye.
Hi, you too, dear. That was hilarious, like, Dirty Santa gift stuff.
That's a great gift.
Yeah.
Y'all are doing anything for Mardi Gras? Let me know. I know y'all host people to come.
See ya.
Mom gave out the special work to them.
You're taking off?
Yeah.
From Thursday,
You'll be off Thursday, Friday?
Husband was like, ask
Thursday through the holidays, and then 3 days in between.
Who you got? Are you gonna be here in next week?
Richard will.
Nobody has
make
that.
we
any
go
decisions
down
if need be, but I'm not going
Wednesday.
anywhere, I'll still be in town.
and then stay through Monday.
He'll be on night shift, but I'll still be available.
Okay.
Well, we get this time we're staying on,
Just burning time.
now
Just-
at, Scott Street, which is right, it's like in between, Merry Christmas. In between the Icebox and the Civic Center. Yeah.